Hey everybody, welcome to this week's edition to All Keys Pro. Look for these videos every Thursday. This is my new YouTube channel, and my goal is to have a new video for you guys on Thursdays. So Thursday is the day. This week I have a special thing I'd like to talk to you about, and it is Fender Rhodes. Fender Rhodes became Rhodes. And I am lucky enough right now to have two Rhodes in my house. The first one I want to talk about is a vintage 1976 Rhodes Mark I stage piano. I acquired this very recently. It was gifted to me by a dear friend whose father actually was one of my college teachers and one of my very early mentors. He's since passed away, unfortunately, but this piano, this guy right here, was his. It lived in his office. I remember it being in his office in college, and his son has kept it ever since, and he recently gifted it to me, which I'm so grateful for. So, as I said, this is a 1976 Rhodes Mark I. So this is a pretty early one, not the most early, but pretty early. I owned one very similar to this, actually a couple years older. I had a 1974 Rhodes in high school, which I took on lots of gigs and beat up pretty bad. This one is in cosmetically really nice shape. Not perfect by any means, but it's a pretty one. And my goal, since it's in such good shape and because of the sentimental value, is to restore it, to rebuild it. I'm going to probably order the Vintage Vibe rebuild kit and do the Magic Action thing and replace grommets and all kinds of stuff which needs to be done. So this is a beautiful instrument. It has seen some wear just because of age. I mean, it's not hasn't been abused at all. It's been well cared for, but the action, you can probably hear this. I don't know if you can hear that or not, but it's real noisy and it's real clunky and it's slow and it's not very responsive. It's like just like almost every Rhodes you find from this era. And the sound is going to get better too when I rebuild it. It needs new hammers. I'm going to replace the hammers because it's not at all bright. It's a real dark sound. But I kind of dig it. I kind of like that dark sound. And it's certainly not something that you ever hear from a sample or like from the YC73, which I did a video on a couple weeks ago. This is just a sound you cannot get from any sampled or synthesizer kind of instrument. So I really love it. It feels good to sit here and play it. The experience of playing a real instrument like this is very, very different and profound in a lot of ways, and it's an experience you do not get playing keyboards. So I've composed a little piece that I'm going to play for you on it so you can get an idea how it sounds, and hope you enjoy it. Thanks. Hey guys, hope you enjoyed that. Man, that sound and just the experience of playing this instrument just brings back so many great memories. It's almost like a visceral thing. A couple notes about I'm recording this straight to Logic. I have a Speakeasy Vintage Music T VTP PA Vintage tube preamp. So it's a preamp I've had around for a while, and I've been deciding to use it on Rhodes for this Rhodes, because this Rhodes is just line level, really a weak level. If any of you have been around these vintage Rhodes without the preamps, no, it's kind of like coming straight out of a electric guitar or something. So preamping is really necessary, and I like this preamp. I think it helps. It adds a little tube gushiness. It's got a high and a low EQ, and I have the treble turned up to 10. If it went up to 11, I would go there. But anyway, just to let you know, that's kind of what's going on with the signal chain. No effects, no EQ, nothing like that in Logic. So yeah, so hang on for the next segment. Hi, so now I'm sitting in front of a different instrument. It's a Rhodes-like instrument, but I think that I can't really call it a Rhodes because this is an instrument made by Vintage Vibe, which is a great company and an American company in New Jersey. And this is the classic 64 Vintage Vibe electric piano. And it is modeled after a Rhodes Mark I, like you just heard. This one, however, has a lot of sort of modern improvements. It has a custom-built preamp that the company makes, which is really great. It has stereo outputs, and those outputs are preamped, obviously, so it's not line level anymore. It's got treble and bass controls, volume control, and the pièce de résistance is it's got the stereo tremolo, which is really killer. Used to only be able to get that on the suitcase pianos. So this is great. You can get stereo vibrato right out of the outputs and go straight into your interface, and you don't need an amp or anything to get that happening. So it's really a great instrument. I've only had it about 6 months. So part of me is still kind of getting to know it. The action is very much refined. I was surprised that it felt a little bit shallow, more shallow than the old Rhodes, and I don't know if that's just psychoacoustics can be really a strong thing, so I don't know if it's like just the way it sounds. It's very immediate sounding and very responsive action and much lighter action, so maybe it's not any more less deep. It's not less deep action than the originals, but it kind of feels that way. The tone is overall brighter, although you have a lot of tone control. It can go from very bright. If you push the bass control, it can get darker and kind of fat in the bottom. And if you roll off the treble, you can get a real kind of tinny kind of a sound. So yeah, it's very cool. So I'm going to play the same song. I won't play it exactly the same, but to give you an idea of how that music sounds on this instrument compared to the first one. All right, there we go. So thanks for being with me today. This has been a fun little excursion for me to think about Rhodes in this way and to play both these instruments side by side while across the room. Let me know what you think. Do you like one more than the other? Do you have a favorite? If you could only have one, which one would you keep? Or would you keep them both because they're different and kind of function in different ways in different tracks? Love to hear your comments and criticisms regarding that. Do me a favor and subscribe and like my channel. And I hope this is good for you, and I look forward to seeing you soon.